phase that time in 1993, so I couldn't get the funding for those 25 cards, and we killed whole project, 30 people working for 1.5 years. Sometimes companies make those hard decisions. My whole team was demotivated at the time, but as an organization, that's a decision taken and you have to live with it. And you have to cope up and move forward. Right? So this is you can see we are at right now at 8 GFC networks, and we are moving towards 20 or 40 GFC networks. What is going to be future in fiber channel is FCOE. Fiber channel Fiber very, very promising. I was in one of the conference in US about 2 months back. Half of the conference was on FCOE. Okay? What we are talking about is unified SAN, FC SAN, IP SAN or FCOE, everything in single box, use what you want, pay for what you want. Right? One of the area where I come from, I manage the backup recovery and archive practice for Asia Pacific, and it work with all the big customers around Asia Pacific. Data protection, because all this information which is being created somehow needs to be protected, needs to be made available. See, the days are gone if your server say, okay, even if I can recover in 2 days, 3 days, I'm fine. These days, talk about email server. If the CEO in India, where the IT manager server was down for 30 minutes and the CEO could not get his emails. Patient availability is the key. How do you provide that? You need to have a right replication technology. Data protection technologies, and some of the trends are disk-based backups or object-based archival or virtual tapes. On the data management side, information classification is the key. If I give same value to whole information in my organization, no use. I will be my total cost. So I look at probably HR information is not that critical as my customer information. I need to protect, I need to have that information, I need to have that highest performance, most expensive, which gives me the best service level for that. How fast I can back up, how fast I can restore. Right? Those are the things customers are looking at, and that's where as a student and professors you can play a role. By doing what's the best ways of doing information classification? What is the best way of coming up with the right service level agreement so that customer says, okay, it should be backed up every hour, should be restorable in 10 minutes. This information, it should be 2 hours, 4 hours retrieval. And as soon as customer from the GUI says, click, some algorithm in the back work, and automatically those whole map is designed. Those are the things you need to look at. Then, of course, on the tiered storage, as I said before, primary now, in fact, tier 0 should be added. Tier 0 primary, secondary, archival and backup. This is what I always tell my team that all the customer challenges are in data protection. How much data, till what stage I should be protecting my data? Store the data. Right? For example, even one transaction could be $1 million transaction. If I am protecting only last 30 minutes, so what happens between those 30 minutes if the transactions are lost? It's a big loss to the bank. So they need a zero loss situation. Similarly, recovery, whether I can do recovery in 1 hour or 2 hours. So all my planning has to be based on those. All my technologies have to be based on that service catalog. And those are the areas where you should look at what you can help industry. And there the technologies are there right now. Okay, so enabling technology, tape automation, virtual tape libraries, deduplication. I am a fan of deduplication. Why? Because that's what, as we saw, you take any transaction, or simple example, PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is 16 megabytes, and I have 4 versions of it. Probably the difference is only 50 kilobytes out of that. But I got how much? 64 or 64 MB data. But in reality, it will be about only 16.1 megabytes. Only 0.1 will be difference in all those 4. But what will happen when I will back up my disk? Once I go back, I do weekly backup. I will be backing it up 64. Why should I back up that? Look at the tape cost, look at the time taken in backup, look at the time taken in recovery. If I have a best algorithm for doing the deduplication, how much my total cost of ownership, return on investment I get. That's what I work with customer and suggest them the solutions, how you can reduce the cost of your operations. Today's environment, customers are asking for how can I do more with less. Simple example, many companies, in last 2 days I met few people in Bangalore, working, there were 25 people working on the project. They are saying, hey, can you reduce it to 15, and 15 guys can do the job of 20, and 15 guys can do the job of that. Doing more with less is happening across. Okay? So this is what the advantage of deduplication is. We have technologies which provide deduplication as high as like 600:1. 600:1. 9% data deduplication. One site we just implemented in Australia, 596 sites across Australia to do the backup. Across the sites, there is 99.82%. And they are doing backup on 128 kbps link. Okay?